Hi, Next Gen Leads. My name is Roberta Domingues. I am Brazilian. I just finished a master in strategic leadership towards sustainability. And today I'm super excited to be here with Usman Muhammad Mareri, a climate activist, woman empowerment advocate, children's education champion, and social entrepreneur. Thank you, Usman, so much for being with us today. So, can you tell us a little bit about yourself, your work, your studies, or anything that you would like to share about yourself?
Okay. Thank you so much, Roberta, for the opportunity and the next gen lead and oikos at large. I'm Usman Muhammad Mareri, as you have earlier mentioned. I am a climate change activist as well as an entrepreneur, social entrepreneur, and a woman advocate. I have been taking climate change initiatives over the last 10 years uh, to augment, to complement my efforts in climate change and sustainable development. I founded an NGO called Center for Renewable Energy and Action on Climate Change back in 2012, in 2010 per se. And since then, we have been having programs, projects, and initiatives that are targeted towards climate change mitigation and adaptation. And since then, we have been doing wonderful work in sensitizing and creating awareness among youth as well as women on the dangers associated with climate change. I'm at the same time a Mandela Washington Fellow, a 2014 Mandela Washington Fellow, a U.S. State Department initiative for young African leaders. I had my leadership program at the UC Berkeley in California, and I'm also an associate fellow at the Royal Commonwealth Society based in the UK.
Wow, that's so amazing and impressive curriculum. Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. So we know that you have a very interesting story to share with us, a personal and also about your work, nice story on responsible leadership, and we will love to hear you. So please.
Okay. Um, uh, it has been quite a daunting task over the years because my story started when I was 10 years old, as my father is a peasant farmer. He's also nomad. So I've been following him to the farmland over the years. And so along the way, I got to realize that we have a big problem in northern Nigeria where we have desertification. All our farmlands are being eaten up by desert. And my father keep on complaining. His frequent complaints at that time was desertification, land degradation, and drought. So that has changed my perspectives when I grew up. I made that promise that I will create something that will help reduce those problems my father has been mentioning about that period of time. So when I was in the university, I started this Green Pinnacle is an initiative to help rural farmers get access to information needed on how to revitalize this soil and land. So after that, I realized that I need a much more bigger platform to operate in. That's why I established the Center for Renewable Energy and Action on Climate Change. So since then, I've been trying to bring out something that could help those local farmers, those communities, uh, bring the best out of them and help revitalize the soil, bring out the best out of it, and as well as give them some leeway on how to help the environment and help how to help their farmlands uh, do better in terms of because I could remember there is this a program I have is multi-actor interactions on sustainable behavioral change approach. It has to do with in short, I call it focus group learning cycle. So we have these two groups that we set up: the younger farmers aged 18 to 39, and the older farmers aged 40 to above, up to 80 years. So there is this cross uh, knowledge gap that we try to bridge, because the older farmers knew exactly what happens over the last 40 years in their respective farmlands, in their respective communities. So uh, most of these older farmers will tell you that we do have 10 months of rainfall in the last 30, 40 years, but now we have less than 5 months, or 5 months per se. So the reduction in the change of rainfall pattern has affected so much, so many farmlands down there in north, because they are not aware of that. So this cross cultural, cross knowledge sharing between these younger farmers and older generation farmers have created sustainability among the farmers. So same farmland that these farmers have been cultivating over the last 40 years is the same farmland that this young generation inherit from their parents. And this, the number of people, the number of households has been increasingly going off. Uh, Maybe in the last 20 years, you see only 5 people in one family, but now they are up to 20, and they still maintain the same farmland they have been maintaining. So that has created a chaos in terms of food security, as well as the livelihood. It affects their livelihood. So that is what we have been doing over the years. We have so many programs. We have this clean cook stops to help reduce those felling down of trees over the years, because those cook stops are the cheapest in the world, because they are using 100% locally available raw materials. It doesn't require much to produce them, and they can last for up to a year. So we have been teaching women how to make these stops, and they have been contributing a lot towards uh, carbon emission reductions, as well as reduction in felling down of trees. So I have so many projects and programs that we have been doing, but these are just few that are related to, you know, oriented learning, as well as changing minds, shifting thinking among people, so that by the time you change mind, you shift in your orient learning among people, they tend to behave better. They tend to behave uh, sustainably towards their own environment. So I think I have given a bit background on the personal experience I've been having.
Wow, it's surprising, and it's so good that you're doing that.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Roberta.
Yeah. And what have been your learnings in this journey? Yeah, and also as a leader, and what is your key message in
So
this
I
perspective?
think Next Gen Lead has been quite a program that I believe it has impacted my life so much. It has been amazingly superb. I have enjoyed every bit of it, especially the interviews, the cafes we have watched, and the people I have met uh, during the program. Uh, it was interesting and at the same time impacting. So it tells someone to always have at the back of his mind that failure is part of life,
Mm,
and we should be persistent in our work. We shouldn't get reluctant. We should be persuasive and as well as action oriented. So it tells somebody that, look, you get to fail, because in everyday life activities, you want to have failures, but those failures shouldn't serve as a bottleneck. They should serve as building blocks towards achieving your own success. And you can't escape it. So the next gen lead has taught me that I need to do more. I need to just accept these realities, these challenges, embrace them, you know, so that I can keep on moving. So it has been inspiring actually, and it has changed my perspectives on the way I see or I perceive life in general and the way I see the environment. It has increased knowledge in me that our focus group learning cycle initiative could be changed. The curriculum we have been using needs to be changed, needs to include those responsibilities that every leader or every young person or every older person needs to inculcate in his or her own activities from day to day. So from now on, we will include sustainability as well as responsible leadership in our curriculum so that we'll have a balance between what our own tradition, our own culture, as well as those leadership, sustainability, and responsible leadership coexist. So we want to build it in such a way that it's culturally acceptable and traditionally acceptable in our community, and that will surely help our work and improve living standard as well as help the immediate environment sustainably.
Mm, thank you. Wow. And if you could share with us like a practice, if someone wants to be a responsible leader, and from your own journey, now that you were sharing from a kid that you had the willingness to support the change where you are in your community. But if you could share what people could practice, like from your learning in your own personal journey, what would it be?
Yes, there are so many things, but first in all, it has to do from our families. That's your immediate family. So those relationship with your own family needs to be changed. It needs to be more sustainably acceptable. And after that, your friends, the communities you live in, because in as much as you can change someone's mind, no matter how small it is, it will help. So it has to start with your family, your friends, your community, and the larger society. So I'll advise that whenever you sit with anybody uh, discussing on issues, you need to bring in these sustainability issues and build in it. And whenever you have chance to interact or to give a lecture on anything, then it's an opportunity for you to build those sustainability issues a part of it. So along the way, whatever you do from the time you leave your home or you are with your family, and by the time you leave your house, down to where you walk or the people you interact with. So every day you need to change at least one person's perspectives. So if you can do that, if you do that for every day, you have changed uh, 365 people perspective in a year. So it's something that you need to be doing every day, and every time you are out, you need to just build that in your at the back of your mind that you are changing someone's perspectives to look to behave more sustainably. So in a year, you have changed 365 days' lives, and that's impactful.
For sure, it is. Yeah, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
I will even have this in my mind now
yeah, every day.
and try to do it. Do
Yeah,
you have any final message you would like to leave?
yeah. My message should go to the youth because the youth hold the economic keyboard of our world. So they have that opportunity to change uh, the way we see things. And they have a daunting task, enormous task ahead of them. Because if we really wanted to, like, uh, limit global warming, limit global temperature to pre-industrial level, so the work should be at, at, at our fingertips. So I'm calling for every youth around the world to do something much, much more better than we are doing now. We need to put it at the back of our mind on this world. These generations are leaving us. So we are going to own this world. So we must own it for a better. So that's just what I'm saying to our youth across the world.
Thank you so much, Usman, for your time and collaboration with us.
You're welcome.
Yes,
You're welcome,
that's it.
Roberta.
Thank you,
Nice,
Next
nice,
Hit.
nice to speak with you.
Yes, thank you.
Bye bye.